Psychology of people who don't use social media. There's a quiet truth most people don't want to admit. When you scroll through social media, you're almost always losing a comparison you never agreed to enter. You're measuring your real, unfiltered life against someone else's curated highlight reel. Their best moments, edited and polished, against your everyday reality. And that's a game you can't win. Research backs this up. Studies have shown that even limiting social media to about 30 minutes a day can reduce feelings of depression and loneliness. But people who don't use it at all often report even lower anxiety and higher life satisfaction. Why? Because they've stepped out of the comparison cycle entirely. They're not chasing validation in a system designed to keep them feeling just a little not enough. There's also something deeper happening in the brain. Social media trains attention like a slot machine. Constant scrolling, quick hits of novelty, little bursts of dopamine. Over time, your mind gets used to that rhythm. Focus becomes harder. Stillness becomes uncomfortable. But people who don't use social media build their attention in the opposite direction. They can sit with a thought, read without interruption, stay present in a moment without reaching for stimulation. They're not constantly pulled away from their own lives. Now, it's important to be honest. Some people avoid social media out of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of being seen. That's not empowerment, that's protection. But for those who consciously choose to step away, something shifts. They begin to see social media for what it often is, not true connection, but performance. Every post becomes a kind of audition. Every story, a subtle bid for approval. And when you step back, you realize, real connection doesn't happen through a screen. It happens in real life, in conversations that aren't filtered, in laughter that isn't recorded, in moments too ordinary to post, but meaningful enough to remember. People who don't use social media don't necessarily have more relationships, but they often have deeper ones. Instead of spreading their attention across hundreds of distant connections, they invest in the people actually present in their lives. And then there's time. The average person spends over 2.5 hours a day on social media. That adds up to over a month of your life every year. People who opt out get that time back, and they use it differently. They read, create, think, reflect, or simply exist without an audience. They're not living half in the moment and half waiting for a notification. They're fully there. There's a concept called continuous partial attention, that state where you're never fully focused, always slightly distracted. Social media thrives on it, but people who step away escape it. When they're with you, they're actually with you. Of course, society often treats this like it's strange. You're not on social media? How do you stay connected? As if humans didn't build deep relationships long before these platforms existed. The truth is simple. You don't need to broadcast your life to prove it matters. There's also something powerful that happens with creativity. Many artists, writers, and creators find that when they step away from social media, their work improves. Without the pressure of likes, algorithms, and constant feedback, they start creating for themselves again, not for approval, but for expression. They stop being a brand and return to being a person. And then there's FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's what keeps people hooked. But those who leave often realize something surprising. Most of what they feared missing wasn't meaningful at all, just noise. The things that truly matter, real opportunities, real connections, don't depend on a feed to reach you. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Social media platforms are designed to keep you engaged, often by triggering emotion, comparison, envy, outrage, because those feelings keep you scrolling. When you remove yourself from that system, something changes. You stop being constantly reminded of what you lack, and slowly, you begin to feel like you're enough as you are. Even your memories improve. When you're not focused on capturing a moment for others, you actually experience it more deeply. You remember it more clearly. You live it instead of documenting it. This isn't about rejecting technology. Social media is a tool, But the real question is, are you using it, or is it using you? People who don't use social media aren't better than anyone else. They've just made a different decision. They've decided their attention, their time, and their mental energy are worth protecting. And if anyone asks why they're not on social media, the answer can be simple. I'd rather live my life than perform it. Because in a world where everyone is broadcasting their existence, choosing to simply experience it might be the most authentic thing you can do. And maybe, just maybe, that's not missing out at all.